When a candidate is invited to a one-way interview, the candidate receives an email with a link. This link takes them directly to their interview where they can get more information as well as start the process. Once they click on the link, they are taken to their interviews page. This page can be branded to match your organization's look and feel. Candidates click on the Details button, and the first page that they see is a welcome video or message that was set up by the recruiter. Once the candidate finishes watching the video, they are moved on to the screen where they can see the options that they have for completing their interview. They can choose to complete it over their web browser with a microphone and a webcam, or they can choose to use their iPhone, iPad, or Android device. When selecting the mobile app option, the candidate sees additional information needed to complete the interview. The candidate is asked to download the appropriate RIVS.com app. After downloading the app, the candidates are asked to enter in their email and password. Once they enter the app, they can see any interviews they have been invited to. They can then select to get more details about the interview. If a welcome message was set up, the candidate will see that message right away. After the message, they are taken to a screen where they can choose whether they want to do a practice interview or go ahead and start the real interview. The practice interview allows them to go through the experience as many times as they want so that they can get a feel for the system. Once the candidate selects to participate in the real interview, they will be taken to the screen that provides them tips for their interview. When they are ready, they can load the first question. Before they begin, they will be able to position themselves on their screen just to make sure that they are centered and ready to continue. Once they're ready, they can hit Show Question. At this point, if the user or recruiter has recorded themselves asking the question, then the candidate can listen to that question. The candidate can also choose to see that question as text. When they are ready to start recording, they can hit Start Recording Answer, or they can let the timer reach 0. Once the candidate starts their recording, they can see how much time they have left to give their response. They can also still see the question in case they need to reference it. Please note that the amount of time that the candidate has to prepare their response, as well as the amount of time the candidate has to provide their response, is completely customizable by the user or recruiter on the back end. Once the candidate has finished their response, they can choose to stop. After the recording stops, the candidate may have the ability to review and re-record their response. The user sets up whether or not the candidate can re-record. Once the candidate is satisfied with their response, or if the re-record feature is disabled, then the candidate can manually move on to the next question. The process repeats until every question has been answered. At that point, the system finishes uploading the rest of the responses. The candidate then sees any final goodbye messages that were set up by the user or recruiter. After completing their responses, the candidate receives an email confirming that they have completed all of their responses.